Hello everyone. Let's imagine a nice bell curve, a Gaussian packet comprised of several wave functions that when added up together forms the nice and smooth curve. So what we have here is that we have a Hilbert space in this quantum field of oscillations that when these individual wave functions added up together, they create this reality, which is the summation of these wave functions forming this nice and bell curve. So within reality, within history, within the matter and energy all around us, there are a great number of possibilities, which Richard Feynman described as alternative histories in the future and into the past. For example, until we study and we look back in time, either through stargazing or through doing some research in history. Until we do that, we don't know what the past was like. But when we do that, we narrow down all the possible states into one single history. Which is why it might be dangerous to do space-time travel. When we travel back in time, we may find a different past from a parallel universe. Maybe traveling in time will be the same as traveling to a parallel universe, because in fact the past is a parallel universe in itself, because it's the past. Imagine the history of the universe as being comprised of several pages stacked over each other, and a parallel universe is another block of pages stacked to each other. But so nothing prevents us knowing that particles travel between the universes all the time. Nothing prevents us that maybe if we travel through these dimensions, we could end up in a parallel universe, which would be catastrophic, to be honest. Like if you want to go back to the year 1960, and then when you go back there, you find out that it's a different 1960 that you study about it in school, but then you realize maybe I'm in a parallel reality, right? So we got this nice bell curve with all the wave functions added up to each other, forming the reality that we see, this space-time reality, right? And this also applies to people, what makes up a nation is the citizens, it's the politicians. It's not just a president or a king. It's the summation of all those quantum wave functions of personalities, which generates the culture of a civilization, of a city, of a state, of a nation, and of the world as well. So we live in a universe which is a quantum field of experiences. We got insects, we got animals, we got trees, we got of all kinds. There's the summation of all these possible cases within the DNA chaotic mutations, which creates new life forms. The DNA is a very long molecule inside every cell, human cell, animal cell, plant cell. And there are many possible ways that those molecules can arrange themselves to generate a new human being or a new species or a person with a different personality, because we also run by those chemical reactions in our brains, in our bodies. So we live in a universe with many possible states. But what makes up reality is the summation of all these cases. And then that's what we see as the reality, is that's what we perceive, the summation of all the histories, of all the evidence for the history. And also, as we are right now, there are many possible ways the history can take towards the future. So that's what we live, and this is what life is. It's kind of like we live in a bell curve. Right? What makes a table is the summation of all the wave functions of the particles in that table. That's what make a table. What makes you, and what makes me a me is the summation of all those chemical reactions in my neurons giving me the personality and making me perceive the world probably different than you do. That's what makes each one of us different. But it's the summation of all those possible cases that generate our common view of reality, something that we may all agree upon. That's what reality really is. And this goes back to what I said earlier in other videos about reality being composed of circles and waves, and I'll get more in detail with that in the later videos. Thanks for watching.